Okay, welcome America, welcome India, and welcome Taylor Swift to the live studio recording in room 202. Here we go. We are going to do some basic review of area using our formulas. The Geometry SOL formula sheet, it's labeled a 2016 formula sheet. You can use it at any quiz or test. The state has said it's okay, so we can use it in this class. And you'll need it for the next 2 units on surface area and volume, and this is the introduction. So I would take out the formula sheet that I gave you last time. The formulas are pretty basic for today, but it's just nice to kind of see them on the formula sheet. And you can Google that formula sheet. You can just Google Geometry SOL and it will pop up 2016. So the formula for area of a rectangle, since the sides, the height, and the base are already perpendicular because we have 90-degree angles, we usually just write length times width, okay? But if you have a parallelogram, we use base times height. The base and the height are always perpendicular, okay? So the height might not necessarily be the side of a parallelogram. So the words base and height are interchangeable with length and width. So here, find the area of the rectangle. Now, I know all of you guys can multiply numbers and feel very comfortable with this, okay? However, I want to get you guys in the habit of writing the formula first. So I want to show you a formula that I used in pre-calculus yesterday, okay? It's like this. Okay? So once we were to they give us all the information except for one variable, and then we'd solve for that variable depending on what variable it is. You can't really do that in your head. There's a lot going on. So we want to get in the habit of writing the formula, plugging the numbers in, and then solving, okay? So the formula for this, it's a rectangle, so you can use length times width or base times height. I'm just going to use base times height. So area equals base times height. There's the formula. Then you plug the numbers in that you're given. It tells you the base is 94 and the height is, I don't want to use an X. We don't use X for multiplication anymore. And the height is 50. What do you get when you multiply those two numbers?
4,700.
Did you say 4,700? 4,700. Now, we are working with area right now. What are the units? That's 50 feet by 94 feet. The area is 4,700. What are the units? Area. Feet is a distance you can measure with a ruler, but you can't measure area with a ruler. The length and the width are feet, right? So this is 94 feet and this is 50 feet.
So yards?
So remember back in like 3rd grade when you learned how to multiply, okay? And it was something like this. I've never taught 3rd grade, but something like this, where they do 3 times 5 and then it was 15 because each of these is 1, whatever unit is squared, okay? So let's say it was feet. Each of these squares is 1 foot by 1 foot, and this is called 1 foot squared. Does that sound familiar? Okay, so if I were to break this rectangle up into 94 by 50, how many blocks we have? We have 4,700, but it's 4,700, what's the unit?
Squared.
Feet squared. Can't forget that. You need to put the squared with the unit. Do not write it like this. I see this all the time. This means something different. This means 4,700 times 4,700 feet. Feet can be measured with a ruler or a piece of string. It's a distance. So don't write it like this. This is the answer. Or you can write, the words feet squared or square feet. Good? This is a good review. So the base and the height relationship, okay? Again, the base and the height are always perpendicular. So your height might be somewhere else. It might not be the side of the rectangle like the last question. So here we're told this is the base. We know that's the base because it's parallel to the top. Those are the bases for the parallelogram. We've already been over parallelogram properties in Unit 8. The height is perpendicular. So there's the height. This is the base, that's the height. If this is the base, that's the height. This one this is the base, you can extend that out and here's your height. And you could put the height inside here, but sometimes you might have a height somewhere else, like outside of your figure, and that's fine too. So what do you notice about all of these heights? They are perpendicular to the base. We won't write it out for the sake of time. Okay, so now, a lot of times you're gonna have a bunch of information that you don't need. In this parallelogram, what numbers are we gonna use to find the area for this parallelogram?
4 and 5.
So the base is, if this is the height, right? Here we go, height, okay? The base has to be perpendicular. Which side is perpendicular?
7.
7. So this is the base. So it's 4 times 7, and we don't even need the 5. Good? All right. I'm going to show you this video, but for the sake of the video that I'm creating right now, just want to show you, if you have a parallelogram, this is what the video is saying. Okay, and I'll just start with a rectangle because that's easier. Pretend like this is a rectangle, okay? We've got 90-degree angles. If the base of this rectangle is 10, okay, and the height is 5, okay, the area of this rectangle is 10 times 5, okay? But if I wanted to cut this, and I just wanted the area of this triangle, it's half, right? So the area of this triangle is 25, the area of this triangle is 25 for a total of 50 for the whole rectangle. So the formula for area of a rectangle is the base times the height. The formula for the area of a triangle, which is on your formula sheet, is 1/2 of that. That's where the 1/2 comes from. 1/2 base times height. And that's what this video is explaining. And they actually show you, if you draw the height here and cut this triangle off and put it over here, it makes a rectangle. Makes a rectangle. All right, and we'll watch that after I finish recording. So I feel pretty confident that we've done enough of these. What's the base and what's the height in this problem?
The base is 6 and the height is 8.
Base is base is 6, height is 8. Very nice, good. All right, skipping that. For the area of a square, you'll see on your formula sheet, area equals side squared. That's just because the side lengths are the same in a square. So you can use base times height if you want, or you can use side times side. It's just that it's gonna be 12 times 12, the numbers will be the same. And all these units are squared because they're area. Now, let's see if we can find the area of this triangle. We need a base and the height. We got a bunch of numbers we don't need. We need one area equals 1/2 the base times the height. Which numbers are we going to use?
10, 5.
10, 5. Doesn't really matter which ones you put first. And usually when I have a half, I just cut the 10 in half and make that 5, and then 5 times 5. The area is 25. Now we don't have, that's an equal sign, we don't have units, so they didn't give them to us. So we still have to show that it's area. So we write units squared, and I usually just put a U and then square. That lets everybody know that's an area. We're not doing that right now. That's it.